What's happening, everybody, in the LightSaber Radio family? Thank you guys for tuning in, because we got one hell of a show for you, because we got to talk about this latest episode of Ahsoka. And before we get to too much, I just want to let everybody know that we're about to cut these episodes on Wednesdays down to about 26 to 30 minutes, because that just seems like a good time. Fucking Disney and a 36-minute fucking episode. Like, what the fuck?
Joke. We're not actually doing that. We got to make that clear. No, we're not actually doing that.
No, we're not actually doing that. Okay, before we get to talking about it too much, let's go ahead and drop the intro.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Last we will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. If you only knew the power of gods.
Here it comes. Let's go.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
So,
Oh boy,
another
another episode.
Yeah, and Ahsoka was surprising. It was very short. I don't like.
Too short, honestly.
Well,
But
this is
at
my
the-
thing.
At the same time, well, it's too short because like I want my episodes to be longer, right?
Yeah.
Just that I want longer episodes, but it wasn't too short of like content. Like they honestly could have, with the amount of content that was in the episode, they could have cut the time down more. I think.
Yeah, they I mean, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. It gave me the fucking but this is the craziest thing. I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm not like I wasn't getting Rebel feels. I was getting Clone War feels. Like if they took Clone Wars and made Clone Wars a fucking
This one was
anime.
more Clone Warsy, but didn't this one
it
have
had
a
a
different
lot
director?
more fucking Easter eggs to it.
This one
It
had a
had
different
to
director,
do with
didn't it?
like the Clone Wars. Like a lot of the Easter
Right.
eggs that was in there was Clone War Easter eggs. Now there was some, of course, of fucking
There was
you know what
still
I'm
the
saying,
Space Wheel and
of Rebels and of Star Wars in general. But there was a lot of Clone Wars Easter eggs in there, and it just made me feel like I was watching Clone Wars. What's going on, Star Wars team leader Nielsen? What's going on? Chris is in the chat. What's happening? Okay. And yes, my thing is this: if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna make all the episodes fucking 36 minutes, make up 36 fucking minutes.
yeah.
Or don't have one episode fucking 50 minutes, the next episode 20 minutes, the next. I fucking. And Chris said it in the bottom. He says, I hate the inconsistency in episode length. That shit is just fucking annoying, man. Like, to me, I was just getting invested. Like, oh shit, what the fuck? This shit is. And it was good. This was a fucking good episode. I love the fact that they went back to the Star Wars space battle. Space battles. We haven't really had like a fucking lengthy space battle in a while. Everything happens in fucking on some planet now. Even in The Mandalorian, it started in fucking space and then it ended up on fucking Mandalore. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a long fucking space battle. There's not been a lot of fucking space fighting. In Andor, it was real quick, fast when what's his face was when Lucien was fighting in space,
right.
It was quick. This was like half the episode was them fucking fighting in space. And it was like, dude, this is Star Wars. Really feels like Star Wars.
At least she had a spacesuit. I was thinking the same thing because half of me believed, I swear to God, if she walks out without a suit on, I'm going to kill someone. I'm going to riot. But one thing I will say, I think it would have been a lot better if they condensed these 3 into 2 episodes.
They might have, you know.
I just think, I mean, it would make the episodes longer. Plus, I feel like this episode these first 3 episodes have all moved kind of slowly with sometimes like unnecessary scenes. Like, I don't know, the scene with her trying to move the cup of tea or coffee or whatever that scene was kind of drawn out and unnecessary. So I feel like every once in a while we could cut some scenes and we could have condensed this into 2 episodes. I think it would have gone a little bit better.
You know, and I think who was it? Nelson that said in the chat earlier. He said that just get rid of the TV series. Like, just drop this shit as a movie. Because you could do like a 3-hour-long fucking movie, condense all this shit down, and fucking really have an excellent fucking movie. Because you're cutting out a lot of the fluff. And I agree with you on the fact that there's a lot of fluff within because there's just a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be in there.
And it's not like, I don't know, because like
it's not
you
even
get
bad.
you get some movies that have fluff, and the fluff is like necessary. But then you got something like this where the fluff just feels long, drawn out, and like nothing's happening in the fluff. It's very,
dude, it's like literally
dry.
like 3 minutes of them floating in space after they get shot.
Especially because I still am on the side where I think Ahsoka is not a very engaging character right now. I think she's very dry and bland.
Well,
so I think that makes it
the
so
only
much
reason,
worse.
like, and yes, I agree with you.
I get that's her character, but like,
that's her character. That's who she played in Rebels.
Because something needs to be done. Like, you can still be dry while still being like having a compelling presence that demands attention. I think a big difference is like Lord of the Rings, has a lot of those characters who are like dry, serious, but they still hold the scene. And so I think there's something off with that. I think it may be the writing, the lines they're saying. I think you can't be that dry while having lines as sometimes corny as they sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little bit.
But you can't say you couldn't say the little fight scene wasn't pretty fucking when they're the little lightsaber training thing that they were doing.
I did like that. That was a lot better. I like how we're getting to see it. You're right. That was good. I mean, at first, when she had her put on the helmet, I was like, all right, this is just a New Hope. God damn it.
And that's what it was. It was an Easter egg to New Hope.
I mean, yeah, it was a little too obvious to be an Easter egg, but I mean, I get it.
But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that part because it showed her commitment. It showed her like the way that she trains. Now, the only thing I don't like is, two things I don't like. First off, they fucking literally, there's not supposed to be other galaxies. George Lucas said there was no other galaxies. You have the Star Wars galaxy. That's it. And I hate the fact that Disney fucking went against George Lucas. That's like one of the fucking rules that he had. You can't expand the galaxy. This is the fucking galaxy. They already did it with Thrawn because we know that Thrawn's from a different galaxy. Right. George said that was okay because we was never going to explore that galaxy. That we were never going outside of the galaxy of fucking Star Wars. That's like George Lucas's rule.
I don't like leaving the galaxy.
And now they're leaving the fucking galaxy, and I think it's just not only is Disney fucking changing everything, but it's like a straight fucking smack to the fucking face of George Lucas. And I do not like that. I fucking can't stand that shit.
Well, but like that's literally Disney. I think when you screwed over Luke Skywalker, you were already smacking George Lucas in the face.
Well, I mean, come on, but so you took out Han Solo, you took out Luke Skywalker. I can understand you made
Not
fucking Boba Fett. I can understand all that because
the character.
I can understand all that because you want to promote your own characters, so you have to kill off the old characters. I understand that. I understand marketing. I understand strategy when it comes to a company. But I don't understand simple rules. Like, it's simple. We don't go outside the galaxy.
They did that with Leia fucking surviving in space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
Disney likes changing the fucking rules.
And and Rey flying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jedis are not superheroes. They can't fly. You know what I mean?
That was a big one.
But like even those ones I can look past because in Clone Wars, Plo Koon did survive in space. Now he does have a mask on. And there was a fucking hint to that because if you see when their ship got shot today in Ahsoka, when their ship got shot, it was the same type of trajectory that happened in the episode where Plo Koon had to go out into space. The same way that Ahsoka was jumping around in space, same stuff that like Plo Koon was doing. It was you understood it was a nod to the Clone Wars. It was a nod to Plo Koon, which is somebody that Ahsoka takes high esteem to. He kind of found her, and so I can get to that stuff. But now we're going out of space. You know what I'm saying? George Lucas let it be okay with Thrawn. And they never even really explain that in Rebels or in, when Thrawn is introduced it. They just know he's from another fucking galaxy. But they don't ever really explain none of it. Now, the books go into explain it a little bit more, but the books are legends. So it's okay. Now, the new books are canon because they're fucking under the canon banner. Okay, anyway, you explain it. But we don't ever travel outside of fucking space. Thrawn came to the Star Wars galaxy. When Thrawn first met Anakin, he came into our galaxy. We don't go to other people's galaxies. We don't go to other galaxies. And the only thing that kind of makes me...
It's supposed to be a rare thing.
The only thing that kind of makes me excited about it, like, do you go here and find the Yuzhong Vong? Or do you go here and fucking, something that has to do with, something that could come into our galaxy, into the Star Wars galaxy and make it a lot more fun, make it a lot more interesting. Possibilities can happen. But at the same time, it's still like a direct smack in the face to George Lucas because you don't leave the Star Wars galaxy. The Star Wars galaxy is that galaxy. You don't leave. We know that Titan's in the middle. You know what I'm saying? That's in the inner rim. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got the core rim, you got the mid rim, and you got the outer rim. That's what you got. You don't go past there. And then you got wild space, which is in between galaxies, and every once in a while might go into that part, but it's not regulated. That's another thing I didn't like about the Purrgil thing, because the Jedi were tracking the Purrgil migration. Like, didn't I say that on like, who the fuck is tracking the Purrgil migration? Now the Jedis are tracking the Purrgil migration. They were tracking these motherfuckers flying to different galaxies. Now, come on.
Yeah.
Another thing that I said last episode, I said fucking, what did I say? I said fucking Jason Syndulla was going to be in this shit. I said the fucking kid was going to be in there, and they dropped the fucking kid in there. Like, I didn't want to see the kid because in that was a comic book thing. You know what I'm saying? That was not fucking, it never was talked about in Rebels. Nobody ever said she was pregnant in Rebels. And now all of a sudden we got Jason Syndulla, him talking about he wants to be a Jedi. And it's like, all right, man, come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody else think that kid looked like an Oompa Loompa?
It just, I don't know, man. Just certain things like that, it just irritates me. Now, I'm not putting down the episode. The episode was fucking great. I loved the episode. The episode was fucking terrific to me. I wished it was longer. I wish they had, you don't need 3 minutes of seeing the fucking ship floating fucked up. You don't need that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You don't need all that. Cut right to the part where Ahsoka's coming out the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? There were certain things that I was just like, okay, you don't need that part. But overall, I thought the episode was very fucking good. I loved the fucking training. I loved the back and forth with when fucking Sabine tells Ahsoka that Huyang, or however you say his name, fucking said she didn't have no force ability. She was like, really, did you say that? He was like, yeah. She was funny.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. You know what I'm saying? It was funny. It had a lot of character in it. The episode had character in it. I think Chris said it, that Shin had the same headset as Anakin Skywalker. I like that. That was phenomenal. I liked the tie-ins and the Easter eggs that they put in the episode because they were real subtle. They weren't like right in your face. Well, other than Jason fucking Syndulla, like that shit was right in our fucking faces. Like, and that's not even really an Easter egg. Like, it's like a smack in the fucking face because it wasn't part of Rebels. So, like, if this is going to be an extension of Rebels, it's like Rebels Season 5.
It ain't his kid.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand it. It's cool. But then you have to go in and you have to explain, was Jason at Luke's fucking thing when fucking Kylo Ren killed everybody? Did Jason die that way?
Yeah.
Or is this a fucking... Or is this a key that he never, Hera never let him go and be a fucking Jedi, but now he fucking goes and now Rey's training him. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fucking scenario is. I mean, it opens up doors. It opens up doors, but I think it's a very sloppy way of them doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this character should not fucking be in existence. Yeah, Mon
Yeah,
Mothma
you're right.
was looking
Mon
way
Mothma
too
doesn't fucking age, bro.
like Jesus Christ, man. She was like fucking ancient in fucking Return of the Jedi, and now you have her in fucking this looking like she's fucking 14. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there was just little
Yeah,
things
jeez.
that were just irritating. The overall episode was great. I loved the space battle. I loved the fucking Ahsoka being in space, which I don't think that's fucking like it. Okay, you're in space, but now you're fucking batting blaster fucking bolts away in space. That was kind of just fucking retarded. Like, but it was a cool thought. You know what I'm saying? The Easter egg to Plo Koon, it was cool. You know, I like the fact that they was fighting. I don't know. I don't see Balin as a bad guy. Like, dude, it's really hard for me to picture Balin as a bad guy.
I don't see him. Well, I just don't see him as like the Sith bad guy. I still see him as a bad guy. I think he's just, I don't know. He's like just the Jedi who I think a lot of us would be. We're not bad, but we're gonna abuse the power a little bit, you know?
I don't know. He just seems very like when he says, "Go get her, go find him." It didn't seem convincing to me. It was like, dude, that's just not convincing. It seems like if Ahsoka said, rejoin the Jedi Order, that dude would be like, okay. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't even argue. He'd just come back like it wasn't shit.
I feel like he's not evil. He's just like bad, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
think we're used to like the evil Sith, and this is not
Which
that,
is cool.
you know?
Because I like the difference in the characters.
I
You know what
like
I'm
the
saying?
difference.
I
Yeah.
like the differences.
I mean, he's
like that they're,
he's honestly my favorite part of the series right now,
you know,
which is weird.
I mean, overall, this episode, I have to say, was way better than the first two. And I like the first
I'd agree
two.
it's better, but I still didn't rate it as high as you're thinking.
I thought it was a lot better. I thought that I think the key factor that really, like, the space battle, just it made it feel like Star Wars. Like we were missing the space battle.
See, and I'm torn because like I'm glad they included the space battle, and it was good to see a space battle. But on the other hand, there was a lot of problems in it
I don't know. I like.
that I did not like.
The only thing I didn't like about the space battle was the fucking ship floated for 3 minutes after it got shot.
Well,
Like,
it floated
dude,
for
any
3 minutes,
fucking
like-
space battle, as soon as that motherfucker that got hit, them other ships would have been on that motherfucker like in 3 seconds.
But at the beginning of the space battle, they're getting like pounded, just taking a beating
Dude,
from these
that
lasers.
fucking thing, like, dude,
like,
Star
it's
Destroyers
because-
don't even got that
right.
good of shields on it.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, because the shields are on. Then as soon as the shields go off, they can't fucking get hit. Like, they will not get hit. Or Ahsoka, they're shooting at fucking Ahsoka rather than the fucking ship. And a couple times they do hit the ship and it does nothing. So I'm like, these lasers are pointless that they're shooting at. Oh, bro, it was. And then the fact that Ahsoka was jumping on top of the spaceship, I was like, come on, dude, is that how gravity works? And then like later she needs like, oh, I need you to come get me because I'm too far from the ship. Bro, you were jumping all over the place a few seconds ago.
Well, no, I think
Like, when
if you
they
really
do
look,
get the ship powered
the
back
second,
on, they
but the
can't
second
hit
time
them.
I watched it, she was kind of far away from the ship.
Yeah, but
And
then like
it was just farther away. I think it was just far. She don't have the when I texted you last night. I said she don't have the Leia be able to fly through space ability. She don't have that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know, yeah.
She can't fly through space.
Like, the fucking like even with the lasers, dude, the ship's getting fucking hammered, bro. And
them was some
later
big-ass
they can't
lasers.
get hit. They can't get hit. They're standing still and they can't get hit. Instead, they're
Well,
aiming
my
for the
thing
fucking
is,
lightsaber.
why would you build a ship that can only shoot one direction? Because you see, as they flew through the ring, the motherfucker stopped shooting at them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
guns don't turn
Those are
around and shoot the
pointless,
other
yeah,
direction.
yeah.
Like what the fuck is going on? Like y'all could have blew their asses out of space. But I don't know. It was a fun episode. I had fun. I enjoyed watching it. I was all into it, especially with the space battle. And then I really enjoyed the face mask, can't see shit. You know, her teaching her about anger and stuff like that. That was very, very good explanation of the dark side. I liked all that. I liked the fact that Sabine did actually get like it was almost like she was feeling the force there for a second. And I kind of do like the way that fucking Disney is just not bringing her out as being fucking, oh, she can just use the force like Rey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking, she's having to learn how to use the force. But I don't like the fact of the way that Ahsoka explains that everything has the Force in it. Yeah, but that don't mean you can use the Force, because then everybody would just be fucking Force powerful.
I like Chris's comment. I mean, I hope this is the case. Balin gives me the vibe of a man who's broken. My guess is that after Order 66, he was shattered, but he was too strong on the light side to go full dark side. He's definitely not afraid to die. I definitely want to see that. I feel like he would make a really good kind of broken guy character.
We all know that, I mean, and, you know, rest in peace, Ray Stevens. Excuse me. But we know that he has to die by the end of the series because, you know, of course, he died in real life. So I just want to know how they do that, how they did it. You know, how they do it. I'm excited to see the lightsaber battle, or I'm excited. I have a feeling, and Chris brings up a good point on this earlier. He said, although that we can speculate and theorize about who people are, I feel like Disney isn't smart enough to throw in a big twist. I mean, we speculated about the armor and the spy and nothing. And I completely agree, but like I don't think that they'll throw in a twist of, you know, I think it's going to be him and Ahsoka fighting and Ahsoka cutting them down.
But my thing is, like, it is sad because Balin is one of, like, Disney's track record has not been the most super fascinating characters. Besides Mando, a lot of their characters haven't been as, like, fascinating so far as Balin has. Balin is just one of those interesting characters that you don't get a lot. You know what I mean? It's like the introduction of Boba Fett. He wasn't a main character, but for some reason, like, he was cool and people liked him. To me, Balin gives me those vibes that we haven't gotten a lot from Disney.
Well,
he's
because
an intriguing character.
You don't know anything about him.
You don't know anything about him, but you also sense like there's something there. Like the way he portrays the character does give kind of like broken man vibes. I definitely agree
with you on that.
So there's a fascinating character and a potential for a backstory there that we haven't seen a lot, which is cool.
You know, I definitely agree with you on that. There's because, I mean, basically, he was a Jedi and he escaped Order 66. That's like all the information we have off of him. So he has that mysterious, that intrigue about him. He's very intriguing. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you know that he's like, there's something, because just the way he says stuff, you know, like, there's not that many Jedis left. Well, fuck, man, there's only like 2 that we know at this point.
Right.
You know, or 3, because Luke is training Leia. But they're just not, you know, and for him, just him saying that makes you feel like he's not a bad guy. But then,
right, exactly, which means like there might be something there.
But then he cuts down motherfuckers like he's a bad guy. Like, okay, so
I want to hear more about this dude.
Yeah, I want to know more about this character, and it kind of sucks because then they focus. You know, that's something that we bitched
like, think
about
another character like that where you've been like in recent Disney where you've been like, I want to know more about this guy. Hasn't come up that a whole lot. Like they tried to do it even.
And it's something that we bitched about with other episodes.
Exciting.
And it's something that we bitched about with other series. You know what I'm saying? That they gave us characters that we didn't want, and they took away from the character that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
And then now they putting it about Ahsoka, and we want to see Ahsoka, but now you give us this fucking character that everybody wants to know about.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you do this on another fucking, like, on Boba Fett? Like, at least I'd have been fucking excited.
Why couldn't you make compelling side characters? I feel like this one is having compelling side characters.
I mean, Reva was a great character, but she wasn't all that. I wasn't intrigued by her. Like, you guys gave us the story, like, right in the first 10 minutes of the fucking first episode. We knew who she was. We knew everybody was speculating. Everybody was like, oh, she was the fucking girl in the fucking, like, everybody knew the answers before we even found out the answer of who she was. And it lost all the intriguingness. You know what I'm saying? It lost that intrigue.
That's true.
And then now we got Ahsoka. Everybody wants to see Ahsoka. And then they're focusing all on Ahsoka. But then you give us this fucking character that I really want to know about him. So
cool.
Like I want to know about him. Like, give me some more back details. But
I also feel like you kind of have to do that with your big bad guy. I don't know, because I feel like in the Obi-Wan series, the bad guy was, I don't know, she just wasn't compelling. The bad guy was Darth Vader. And
Well,
you're right. Everybody kind of just saw through her. She was like, there was nothing like mysterious. There was nothing intriguing, I guess. That's a good point.
I mean, shit, just in the rumors, within like the first 10 minutes of the episode playing,
Before
the rumors it was coming on, I think everybody already told everybody who it was. And then you got Vader. See, that's the thing. You can't fucking trump Vader as the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how much effort you put in there. Vader's in this motherfucker. I want to see Vader. Fuck this bitch.
All time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Reva was a good character and everything. She played her part good. The character was fucking good. It's just you're not going to trump Vader. And then we all knew who she was in 10 minutes after the first episode played. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we seen her, everybody was on her. She's the girl from the fucking the Anakin killed. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And then what happened? That's who it was. So it was like, it wasn't no big guess. It wasn't that hard to figure out. And then you have Vader. Like, I don't give a fuck about this, bitch. I want to see you with Vader. When's Vader coming? Like, I want to see Vader cut motherfuckers up and do some crazy shit and force choke motherfuckers and shit. But with Baylan, there's no, like, Morgana or whatever, Morgan, whatever fuck her name is. Like, she's not a scary bad guy. Thrawn, when Thrawn comes, now Baylan's about to be trumped. You know what I'm saying? Baylan will be trumped by Thrawn. Because Thrawn is the ultimate, is like Vader, you know what I'm saying? He's a motherfucker that just kill everybody. You're like, he don't give a shit. That's a difference, you know what I'm saying? But for right now, Baylan is the big bad guy. And, which, I don't know, he just doesn't seem that bad to me. He seems like a big teddy bear. I want to give him a hug. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, come here, give me a hug. He just doesn't seem like a bad guy. He seems like a really nice guy that just kind of in a bad situation.
Getting shit done, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, I like him.
I just don't, like, he doesn't, like, pump fear in me. Like, when he was walking down the hallway cutting with the little fake Vader scene, it just wasn't scary to me. It was like, oh,
I feel
look at him.
Yeah, Darth Vader, I feel like if he's walking by, he'll choke you just to fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, or like Emperor Palpatine, he'll kill you just to fucking kill you. This guy seems like, I'll kill you if you get in my way, but other than that, like, I don't care. I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Shin seems like more of a fucking bad guy. She just seems like she's evil as fuck. Like, she don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the fucking
what I kind of want to see, what might happen with Baylan, I think a good way, because it ensures a future character that you want to dive into. You have Baylan being this broken guy who's not necessarily evil, but bad. But yet his Padawan, that girl, is really evil. And she wants to go full Sith. And I think at the end, we're going to come into this. I mean, this would be cool. We come to this conflict where basically he's, hey, like, we do bad things, but we're not, like, going full evil. And she goes, fuck it, I'm Sith, and kills him.
Well, I think what happens is when he gets killed in it, I think he's either going to die saving her or he's going to die.
Chris, if he dies, she snaps and goes Sith. I think we're going to see her go full Sith. And Baylan will be that kind of middle.
Nielsen said, what episode do you think we see Thrawn? I think it'll probably be like either, there's 7 episodes in the series? I think it'll either be 6 or 7 before we actually see Thrawn. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I think that is because they're going to push it for the second season. So they're going to wait right to the very end, leave us on a cliffhanger type thing, like Thrawn returns, Ahsoka some shit, and they got to escape at the last minute, and then we got to wait till season 2 to see what happens. That would be what, I mean, if it was me writing it, that's the way I would write it, because you're going to push for a season 2. Not only are you going to push for a season 2, because you kind of knew watching Book of Boba Fett and watching Obi-Wan Kenobi's series that there wasn't going to be a season 2, or they left it in a position where there might not be a season 2. Because you got to remember,
because they didn't have the reception they were looking for.
Well, I mean, and you got to understand, this stuff is all filmed before they come out, so they put us in a position where they could go either way.
Agreed. Yes, they did do that.
You know what I'm saying? Because in this, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're already working on season 2 of Ahsoka. I think
so?
It's already being written, or Dave has already written it, or I'm pretty sure he probably already written.
But I heard the numbers for Ahsoka were lower than Mandalorian, and Mandalorian season 3, and Mandalorian season 3 had one of the lower ones. Like,
I don't know.
It's declining, is what I'm saying.
I don't know. It might be declining. I don't know. I didn't look at the numbers.
And, like,
I didn't.
Ahsoka didn't
can't.
have the numbers of Mandalorian season 3. And so
I don't know. I thought it was.
it didn't have
I know
the same
at one point it
reception
was
so far.
rated on Rotten Tomatoes on both sides. It was rated the high. It was rated higher than Mando. It was rated.
Oh
the
no, I'm
highest
not
thing.
talking about ratings. I'm talking about like views, watches.
But I don't know. I haven't looked at the ratings, so I didn't get a chance to look at them to see what was what they were doing at this point. But like, Book of Boba Fett ended. The only thing that was kind of like, you know, he's walking on the town, everybody's saying hi to him, you know, but the only thing is what happened to Cad Bane. So that kind of left it open that it could possibly be a part 2, and then it might not be a part 2. Then Obi-Wan Kenobi, it ended with Obi-Wan walking away from Vader, and then fucking Palpatine telling Vader quit fucking, you know what I'm saying, obsessing over him. We got other things to do. So it could have gotten either way. You know what I'm saying? It could have went to Obi-Wan, you know what I'm saying, Vader still tracking Obi-Wan, or Obi-Wan just disappearing. It could have went either way.
Right.
So when it comes down, I think with this, they're already pushing for a season 2. The fans spoke about having Ahsoka. They fan casted Rosario Dawson, the player. I think there's a lot invested in Ahsoka. This is one of the opportunities because Ahsoka still, with it still being a Clone Wars character and a Rebels character, which was part of Lucasfilms when George still owned it, but then season 7 of Clone Wars being Disney, it's still one of their characters they're looking at. So I think that it could go either way, but I think they're going to end it on a cliffhanger. That way they can always come out with
I think you're right.
Season 2.
And I think this
we're gonna see
expectation of Thrawn, I think we won't see Thrawn until the end, and that's gonna, because we want to watch Thrawn. That's gonna draw the season 2.
That's gonna draw.
I feel like Thrawn won't even show up until the last episode.
I think he might show up like the first time we see him, actually see him, will probably be
sooner.
in 6.
But I think by the
It'll
time he
probably
actually
be
like
in 6.
makes a
And
difference,
then 7,
it's gonna be late.
Because the next episode is going to be all based on this planet. It's going to be on this planet.
It's going to be like a flashback of what Snoke or what Thrawn was doing this whole time.
Well, no, what's going to happen with this is my prediction for the next episode. This is where we see Baylan and Ahsoka fight for the first time, and Shin and Sabine fight for the first time. The set things we've seen in the trailer. It's going to be almost the whole episode is going to be based on this, because now they got to figure out how to get their hyperdrive and things back up. The hyperdrive is down, so they got to figure out how to get their hyperdrive back up. They need some parts. They're going to go out. They're going to look on the planet.
They're going to go pod racing in order to get the parts.
They're going to fight. They're going to fight with them too. We've seen it in the trailer. Because that background that Baylan is standing out is where we see Ahsoka and him fight. And then with like the cave type looking, it's not really a cave, but you know, the trees and shit all around, it's remnant of that planet because they got them red trees and everything. Right. It's remnant of that planet where we see Shin and Sabine fight again. We're gonna see that because there was a whole point in Hera not coming to the rescue. You know what I'm saying? That the fleet is not coming. Because they got to give time now for them to finish putting that thing together to get to Thrawn and to Ezra.
Right.
So this next episode is going to be the fight between Baylan and Ahsoka, the fight between Sabine and Shin. And they're going to fight, and, you know, whatever happens on there, I doubt that Baylan or Shin's going to die this episode. Then they get the parts. They're going to leave that planet. They're going to escape the planet. They're going to get away. Baylan is going to be pretty dope with a lightsaber. He's, you know, not no rookie Jedi. You can tell by his age that he's, you know, pretty good. But Ahsoka and Sabine's going to escape. And then they got to fly back. By the time they fly back, the ship is done, and they go into the other galaxy to get Thrawn. So that's episode 4. Episode 5 comes in. It's going to be them getting Thrawn. It's going to be mostly about, you know what I'm saying, I think we might see Thrawn in. It's going to be a quick cameo. then it's not going to really be too much happening. Ahsoka and them, they're going to try to figure out how they're going to deal with Thrawn and the situation there. And then they're going to come back to the New Republic with that ship and with the Chimera, which is Thrawn's Star Destroyer. And they're going to come back with that. Thrawn's going to rally. There's going to be a battle between the new...
In this season.
In this season, there's going to be a battle.
No, I don't see that.
But we're not really going to see Thrawn that much. And then
I don't think we'll see a battle.
We'll see Thrawn in the end of episode 7 or towards the middle of episode 7. He's going to be doing some things. We're going to see Ahsoka and Baylan fight again. Ahsoka's going to win. I think Shin's going to escape. Sabine's going to beat her. She's going to be able to use the Force. She's going to be able to beat her, and then that will end the first season. That'll all happen before 7. But the next episode...
But that, I don't think... Yeah, I don't see a second season happening.
No, there'll be a... Well, I'm pretty...
If you
and
get
it all
that
depends
far,
on... I think they're going to leave it at a point where it could go either way, but I think it's going to be more on a cliffhanger.
Well, if you want to do... Like, I feel like it's one or the other. A good cliffhanger, you see Thrawn in the last episode. I think that's the only thing that's going to keep fans really wanting a second season.
Now, I don't think
it's the only thing that would make me want to see a second season.
It's going to be Ezra, and I think that it's going to be Baylan fighting Ahsoka, Baylan protecting Thrawn. Thrawn sitting in the background.
Weird.
She strikes down. Ahsoka kills Baylan, or Baylan sacrifices himself to save his Padawan. One or the other. She goes to Ahsoka confronts Thrawn. And I'm thinking in this new galaxy is where he finds the stupid things that can keep people from using the Force. So that's where Sabine comes in with her tactician and her abilities to not be able to think. And then they're trying to get where Ezra's at. And the whole time Ezra's in like the prison on the whatever they call it, the military type prison, the brig on the Chimera. I think that it has something to do. It's going to be something in that sense, because the biggest thing to bring back everything is you bring Ezra in at the very last episode. Ezra will be the person that keeps everybody watching Ahsoka the next season, not Thrawn. Thrawn's still a big bad guy, but more people want to see Ezra than they want to see Thrawn. And they've been very, they say Thrawn a lot, and they say Ezra a lot, but Ezra, you got to think about it. In all reality, Ezra was the number one character in Rebels. The whole series was based on Ezra. Ezra...
I mean, that's who it was about, but still, Ezra is not that compelling of a character to me.
You got to get in. You got to watch the rest of the thing. He gets better.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
But Ezra's the one person. Because if Thrawn survived, Ezra had to survive.
Right.
So, and Ezra was basically in Rebels. He was basically the future of the Jedi. You know what I'm saying? He was that true future, because at that point they didn't know about Luke. So he was the future of the Jedi. And he was a kid, so that's where you kind of want to push for that. And hopefully Dave stays on that thing. But Ezra is the person that everybody really wants to see, and that's why they're not. They hint to Ezra, but it's not as much as they do with Thrawn. So they leave it at a point where it's like Ahsoka the whole time she's trying to find Thrawn because she's trying to find Ezra. Ezra saved her in the world between worlds. She's trying to return the favor. But she has to get to Thrawn to get to Ezra. Thrawn is there. It's a big bad. He's a big baddie. And yes, it's very compelling for him to come in. But he's not the character that everybody really wants to see.
Yeah, but I just feel like because they've been. I feel like they've been teasing Thrawn in other things though. Like they even talked about Thrawn in Mandalorian. I feel like Thrawn is what Disney's been trying to build suspense.
Well, that's the next big baddie for the series until Snoke, and I think Thrawn is the person.
Right, so I feel like they would
brings in Snoke.
Yeah, so I feel like they would want to postpone that, have him come at the end, which basically guarantees people are watching the second season.
and there might not be a second season because this could all be leading up to the movie. Because Dave is working on the movie, and the movie's supposed to bring all of this stuff together: the Mandalorian, Ahsoka,
I don't know how that's gonna
Skeleton
work. That's gonna be
Crew,
weird.
you know, just Boba Fett, everything. All that's what it's supposed to be leading up to. So there might not be a second series of Ahsoka, but it leaves it at a point where Thrawn is back, and then we find out how Thrawn creates.
That would be
Snoke.
interesting. That would be interesting because it would be the exact opposite direction of Marvel. Marvel went from movies, then got to the TV shows. We're doing TV shows into the movie. Well, movie into TV show back into movie, but you know what I mean?
But it's definitely, I mean, there's several different ways they go, but I have a feeling that what's going to bring us into the movie or the second season is going to be Ezra. I think Thrawn will be introduced before 7, or at least we'll see him, and it might not even be a whole lot of seeing Thrawn. You know, if we really look at it, it could be just quick glimpses, him giving orders. We know we're going to see him. But how much are we going to see him? You know what I'm saying? We knew we was going to see Vader in Obi-Wan Kenobi, but in all actuality, we only seen him like 4 times within, eight episodes? We only seen him 4 times. Seen him in episode 3. Then we turn around, we seen him in episode when he picks up Reva and chokes Reva out. Mm-hmm. Or starts to choke Reva out. Then we see him again when they come into the thing, and then we see him again when they fight. You know, so even though we knew Vader was going to be in it, we didn't see a lot of Vader. They didn't they didn't just like push Vader in our face. It was very, very good nods to when they brought Vader in because they knew that's who everybody was really there to see. Right. You know, in all actuality, more people came to see Vader fuck people up than they did see Kenobi. You know, because we knew the outcome. We knew the outcome was Vader and Kenobi was going to have to fight. If you have Vader and Kenobi in the same series, we knew that they were going to fight again, which didn't make no sense. Because, like, how the hell did, like, Vader be like, I haven't felt this in a very long time, and it's only been like 9 years or 8 years since they fought then. Well, I mean, I guess that's, you know, I mean, it could be a possibility, but, I mean, it just didn't seem very practical to us. Not as fans. You know, since somebody new, and then they go back and they watch the other ones, they're not going to catch them things. We've been watching fucking New Hope 1,000 times, you know what I'm saying? We know what the fuck he says.
Right.
But, I don't know. The overall episode was, you know what I'm saying, I really enjoyed the episode. It felt like Star Wars to me. It didn't feel cheesy. It didn't feel weird. It felt like I was watching Star Wars. I just thought there was some things that they could have done better. But that's just me as a filmmaker, somebody that looks at things. The music, I don't know, that one music thing that they did, the beep, 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 that shit was, I don't know what it was about that, but I really liked it.
Right. They've done good on music. Sorry, continue. You can continue with your good.
The music was good. The production was good. There were some things that I would have done differently within storyline, but the story was not, at least it stuck to the story. They're not deviating from the story. We didn't get just some fucking flop episode that was like, what the fuck was the point of this? You know, it stuck with the story that they're going for, which, you know, it is Dave. And overall, I think that they did really, really well. I think that it was a good episode. I wished it was longer. I wish they gave us more detail and more explanation on some certain things. But, I mean, overall, I liked it.
And overall, I think it's definitely an improvement from episode 1 and 2. But I still do have my pet peeves. I still think that the general, just the vibe of the show so far has been off. Definitely the dialogue is still kind of shitty to me. It's very, I don't know, it's very corny, I think is a good way to put it for me. I think a lot of stuff is very corny. It's still kind of slow at times, really kind of boring. And because that dialogue is so corny, it's not like an engaging slow. And there's not as much depth to the subplots where even during the dry times, they're entertaining. I feel like the general big overarching plot is getting there and we're in the right direction. And we have definitely some good side characters. but I think so far it's just been kind of dry, slow, and corny with the dialogue. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some improvements, but it's still not perfect to me. And the whole fucking the space scene and the fighting scene, like while it was cool that it was in there, there was some stupid stuff like I talked about earlier. Like,
well, I mean,
the
only reason I don't think it
inconsistency of the fucking lasers, and then fucking Sabine can't shoot for shit.
Well, and I think a lot of that has to do with, you know what I'm saying, Ahsoka trying to push her to use the Force, because she even says it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anticipate what's going to happen. That's a Force trait. Anticipation is a Force trait.
Right.
I mean, you can anticipate, but I mean, come on now. Like, we know that Ahsoka's meaning to use the Force, and Sabine just ain't there yet. She can't even move a fucking cup. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, I don't want her to fucking move a cup. I don't really care about Sabine being a Jedi. I liked Sabine, like, just as a Mandalorian, like, she was cool. I'm not super, like, worried about her Jedi abilities, to be honest. But the fact that, like, she couldn't shoot, like, out of the turret of her ship, like, that, you don't need to be strong in the Force to do that. That's what I mean. Like, bruh, like, fucking use the turret. Luke was a farm boy who could shoot better than you. And you are an experienced Mandalorian. So, yeah, like, talk about her Force abilities. But you don't need Force abilities to fucking use a
You also got to
turret.
listen to the dialogue. The dialogue says that she had settings, and Ahsoka erased her settings. You know what I'm saying? She had it set up for her, and then Ahsoka erased those settings. So, you know what I'm saying?
You'd still got to do better than a fucking farm boy from Tatooine.
God damn it. I'm just making a mess
Yes,
today.
I agree. The fact that a Jedi's blocking ship lasers is bullshit. Because ship lasers are supposed to be like big and explosive. Bro, they're supposed to explode. They're anti like armor. I don't think like he's out there blocking him. Number one. Number two, hold on, let me fucking finish. Number two, before they were pounding that fucking ship. And now that there's a Jedi on top of it and there's no shields, I'm just gonna fucking shoot the ship. Why am I shooting right at Ahsoka? Like Ahsoka shouldn't even be able to block him.
But you gotta also understand, you gotta think about like this TIE fighters. There's been plenty of Jedis that block TIE fighter shots in Clone Wars, Rebels.
Yeah, which is dumb. I still don't like that. I feel like
ships
should be bigger.
So that part didn't really bother me because I'm like, dude, we've seen Jedis block TIE fighter shots.
But she's also in zero gravity, bro. As soon as she blocks that, she's going fucking flying. I don't care how strong your gravity boots are.
I don't know.
Because that thing's coming hard.
And they're flying fast.
Yeah.
That's something I just have never got about like space battles in Star Wars. How the fuck are you moving that fast and there's no gravity? There's nothing, there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, okay. And I'll tell you right now something that I really did like. I like the Purrgils. That shit looked fucking real as shit. That was very fucking realistic looking ass shit.
It was good.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was good that they didn't show like too much of them either. Because it showed how fucking big they are.
Yeah, the shit was.
They really kept them still mysterious, but still fucking big. But like you couldn't see the full scale. I liked it.
I like the Purrgil part. I was like, damn, that's fucking dope. There's Purrgil here.
All right.
But
so what would you rate it?
Okay, let's rate it. Overall, I don't know. It was better than the last two.
Definitely better.
I'm gonna go with an 8 on this one.
Yeah, that's generous, dog.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed this one. I liked it. And see, I don't get where you're coming with the dialogue. It seemed like typical Star Wars dialogue.
It's so corny, man.
But I mean, it's Star Wars dialogue. Go back and like we just watched New Hope. Did you see how corny New Hope dialogue was? It's just because you got to remember that this is.
Yeah, but I feel like we've come a long way since the fucking 80s. We've come a long way since the 70s and 80s, bro.
But that's what made it good because it was simple.
I just feel like we've come a long way since the 70s and 80s.
It was simple. One of the key
It
factors,
made it
if you
good
ever
because
go
it
back,
was simple, but it also like evolved.
if you look
'Cause
at some
Empire
of the
Strikes
greatest
Back had
writers and
definitely more
directors of
complex
all
dialogue than
time,
four.
but if you think about it, if you look at some of the best movies of all times, the dialogue is simple.
Kyle,
not-
you agreed that episode 4 was your least favorite, and it's boring. That's not
Episode
like you
4.
ideal after it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're saying A New Hope. A New Hope
But
was,
I'm
yes,
just saying,
you're right. It was
all of
corny,
them was.
but there's a reason
Even
it's
if
the
you
most
go,
boring.
even if you go back and listen to the prequels, if you really pay attention to the dialogue, it's very simple, very simple dialogue, direct to the point. You know what I'm saying? And that's how this is. If you really listen to what like Ahsoka's saying when she's training Sabine, when they're flying
it's
through the
still not
things, this
this
is
bad,
typical
though.
stuff. It's typical stuff that you've seen in the Clone Wars, that you've seen in all the movies, except for the sequel trilogy. The sequel trilogy, they tried to do too much. And that's what made the sequel trilogy bad. They tried to do way too much. They tried to make things more difficult than they had to be. They didn't keep things simple. Simple is always the best. Any great director will tell you, or great writer will tell you, the more simplicity, the more simple it can be, the better it will be. Because the easier it is to understand. When you make things complicated, the harder it is for people to understand. And you got to also understand, they're not writing this for us. They're writing this, they're
It's
trying to
definitely
write
for
this
younger kids.
for younger people or for everybody. So you got to have something that a child can
but you
understand at the same
you
time
can
that an
still
adult
make
can
it-
understand.
No, you can still make it for everybody while not being this corny, though.
I don't get where you say it is corny at all. Like I thought it
Really?
was very. I don't get
feel
it
like
because
it's
I thought it
weird.
was no different than if I was watching Rebels or if I was watching Clone Wars or if I was watching one of the original movies.
No,
Or the
no, because
prequels.
the movies are. I think the movies are different. Rebels, I agree.
way she
Rebels has
explained
some
the dark
corny
side-
dialogue sometimes too.
The way she explained the dark side, there was enough complication there, but there was enough explanation that it made sense. You know what I'm saying? It was
What?
very good. The way that Ahsoka explains the dark side, it was perfect. You could not get no better than that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it gives you power. Yes, it
I'm not saying everything is corny. I'm
like
just saying
I
they
didn't
have
see
some
any of it. I
very
didn't
corny
see any
parts.
of it as corny. The only thing I really see was that it was
I'm saying
truly,
the dialogue.
that was dialogue. Dialogue is them talking.
I know, but
Uh-huh.
not every single piece of dialogue is corny. It just goes through some phases sometimes where I'm like, that just feels weird. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was a very well done episode. I think there was parts that could have been better, like the floating ship for 3 minutes. Like, why do you guys keep showing us the ship fucking float? We see that they're floating. Get to the fucking point. But you know what I'm saying? You also got to understand that they're trying to fix the ship, so they got to show them intricate moments where she's underneath the thing, and that's something that we know Sabine is really good for, is fixing shit, because that's what she did in Rebels. She was always the one that's fixing something that was going wrong. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So they had to put that stuff in there, but at the same time, it was like I felt like they could have sped it up a little bit. I think the pacing was very slow right there. But overall, like when you really look at everything, like everything fit together real well. The music was in the right points, the blaster points. And I do agree with the fucking blasters in space. That shit was just kind of like, all right, you guys are overdoing it at this point. But it still was fun. I just didn't like the fact of like you're getting shot on the ship and it's fucking hitting you and you're not fucking moving.
And you're
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
but
and-
then I have to look
and-
at it as the way lasers work. The way lasers work. If you're blasting the laser away, you're reducing friction and you're pushing something away.
Right.
Plus, she's using the force. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that go into it.
But before, like, they're getting pummeled and they're fine. Now with no ships, they're
Or no
still
shields.
with no shields. They're fine. Like, what the fuck? One bullet, they should be gone. Like, they should be blown up. And then when they do get powered back on and they're trying to escape, they can't get hit anymore for some reason. When they were just getting pummeled by everyone, I don't know. That was just, and then like before, like the ship was moving significantly slower, so that the bad guys were taking like swings at him. They'd hit him in like runs. Meanwhile, now when they're chasing him through like around the Purrgils, they're all going at the same speed, and it was.
Well, you
just,
also got to understand that there's a difference. That ship is bigger, and now you have gravity.
True. But
So
I feel like a
I
fighter is still smaller. It should
It
go
should
fast.
travel faster, but it just all depends on how it works. But I noticed all that shit, but I'm not dissecting all that shit because that's not the important parts. You know what I'm saying? That's not like them. You knew they had to escape because they had to lead to the next part. They can't get destroyed and killed. You're taking away from
that plot armor is like irksome. I hate that plot armor
and lasers are not
and like
efficient when there's gravity.
and inconsistency.
I don't know. I just, I try to look at things in a perspective of like what like the bad part was really them floating. I know that they had to tell the story. They had to show Sabine fixing it. That's going to tie into Rebels. But the space, her knocking, like, why are you even, like, I agree with you. Why are you shooting at fucking her? I understand she's a Jedi. I understand you want to kill her, but shoot at the fucking ship. Ship blow up, she die anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the reasons I was like, nah, that's just stupid. Because they're shooting directly at Ahsoka. Like, they're not even trying to shoot the ship no more. Shoot her. Like, what? Why?
Right.
And then I didn't like the fact that the turrets didn't turn around on the fucking big ass ring and shoot the other direction. I was like, dude, what? Well, why are they not? Why did they stop? That the ship is. They said the ship fucking is not dead yet, and she just like, and Shin's like, we got her, and Morgan is like, okay, no, fuck that. Everybody turn around, and start shooting this motherfucker till they're all dead. But you know what I'm saying? It follows the plot because they had to get away. You know what I'm saying? So I understand but that was just stupid to me. I'm like, dude, y'all could have made it way more exciting right there at that point than Ahsoka coming out and blocking the fucking bolts off the ship. It could have been done way more exciting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sabine's fixing the thing. What's his face wakes up. Ahsoka's fixing something. They're coming. They're fucking on their way, and they take off right at the last minute. That would have been more exciting than Ahsoka coming out, or at least more realistic to me than Ahsoka coming out in a spacesuit and fucking batting away fucking laser bolts. You know what I'm saying? They could have just did. It's just like, you know what I'm saying, the explosion with Leia. Like, if Leia would have used the Force when it was ripping everybody out of the fucking thing, if she would have used the Force to hold on to something and survive that way, other than flying out in space and then flying back, you're doing too much. You're just doing too much.
Well, one, the logic didn't make sense, and two, I think it's corny the fact that she's standing on the spaceship blocking the blasters. Like that was corny. That was
only reason I don't say that because it was a direct, and you know, we said it earlier, and Nielsen said it in the chat. It's a direct thing because it's the same thing that happened in Rebels. It's exactly the same. It was almost the exact same scene as what happens in Rebels. So I understand the Easter egg, or not in Rebels, but in Clone Wars, when Plo Koon was doing Plo Koon did all the same stuff in Clone Wars that she did in Rebels. So I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's a shout out to Clone Wars. It's a shout out to Plo Koon, which is another one of Dave Filoni's favorite characters. So I understand all of it. I just think that they could have done something different. I agree. I didn't think it was exciting. Like, you know, my wife liked it, and she's not even like a fucking fan. She was like, oh, that's so cool that she's out in space doing that. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, I already seen this. Like, you could have done something different. You know what I'm saying? You could have gave a fucking shout out to Plo Koon like she had to go outside. Like, it would have been like different if they like shot a grappling hook and she had to go outside and cut it off, so
that
they could take off again.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
Something.
I like the space. I don't know. I like space and the movement and the no gravity kind of combat stuff, but that just felt weird.
Yeah, and I agree. It didn't feel okay. It just felt like something I had already seen. Like, I already seen this. Plo Koon already did this.
One thing. So you rated it an 8. Now I can finally rate it. Because of those things I kind of mentioned, while, yeah, it's definitely in a better direction. And it's an improvement off of, like, the last couple series we've seen. Like, namely Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and the season 3 of Mando, I think it's definitely heading in the right direction. They're starting to fix some of the things, but some of it's still off to me. So I give it a 6.
And I didn't like fucking Jason Syndulla part. Like, dude, why? Like, I didn't like that.
Yeah, dude. I think he looked really weird too.
Well, you gotta understand, he's half fucking.
I know, but make him look more like. I mean, I guess he kind of looks like what he looks like in the fucking Rebels cartoon.
Well, he wasn't even in the Rebels cartoon.
Well,
he's in the comics.
The comics.
Yeah, they put him in the comics, which it's a dark. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm going off of speculation here because I don't know, I've never read the comics. But I think it's a Dark Horse comic. It's not.
I don't know. Because I saw some the like animated or the cartoon or the comic version of him, and I guess he looks closer to that, but I still think that looks fucking weird. I feel like you'd have. You wouldn't be a fucking regular person with green hair. I don't know why the fuck that. Like, what the fuck?
Having green.
You're not an Oompa. I don't feel. I feel like half human, half Twi'lek isn't a fucking Oompa Loompa. Is all I'm saying.
Nah, J Dog, he's not. They don't show him in Rebels. They don't ever show. At least, fuck, I watched Rebels again. I don't ever remember him seeing him in Rebels. Like the last episode of Rebels is when Ezra and stuff. Like all this shit happens really fucking quickly.
Yeah, you definitely see him.
No, you don't see him.
Because I see a picture. I see this anything of him.
I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, because
is he in the last scene of Rebels?
Fuck. Either way, just because Rebels did it doesn't make it fucking make sense. I don't like the fucking green hair.
I don't remember seeing him in Rebels.
He looks like an Oompa Loompa. Is all I'm saying. It looks fucking stupid.
Let's see.
He's in the ship with Hera. There's literally a scene with him with Chopper.
Are you sure? Yeah, we're gonna have to do this quickly so we don't get kicked off here. We're gonna check it out. We're just gonna go straight to the end. Where am I at here? Okay.
I just think his character design is. You're right. It's questionable. It's fucking weird. I don't get how half human, half Twi'lek. I don't know how half human, half Twi'lek equals fucking Oompa Loompa. That doesn't make sense.
You know where am I? You know the fucking in Bad Batch, the clone that has the kid with the Twi'lek. They just look like one of them looks like a Twi'lek and the other one looks like a normal person.
Yeah, because the Bad Batch is another not good example of how you
know
should be making your characters.
They just look normal. One looked like a human, one looked like a Twi'lek. They kind of made him look like
just a human with green hair. I don't know. That looks fucking weird, bro.
Which I mean, having green hair is shit. That ain't shit. But what the fuck? Why can't it won't let me do it?
Yeah, Kanan's genes are stronger. They're dominant genes. She's recessive.
Why is it not letting me pull it up?
But yeah, so I rated a 6. That gives us an average of 7, which seems to be on par with what a lot of people in the chat was saying.
Why the fuck is it not letting me do it? It's making me mad now because it's not letting me fucking pull up the damn fucking file. And for the actual show, I want to see. I don't remember. No, I kind of do.
Did you see what I posted on the Instagram today?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, you got to check it. I thought it was funny. It was literally just a side-by-side of Jason and a Oompa Loompa. And it looks good.
And J-Dog, it is. You know, this is a setup because we know in the trailer that Ahsoka fights Balin, and if you look at like the trees and where Balin was standing when he tells them to go, tells the little soldier dudes to go find him, or go find go find them. Dude, that's the planet that they were on. You can see like the pillars and stuff that they're standing around. That's where they were at. So we know that the next episode is going to lead into at least that, or hopefully the next episode, and they don't draw it out to episode 5. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the next episode. Where Baylan and Ahsoka fight for the first time, and then Shin and Sabine fight again. Where Shin tells her in the trailer, "You have no force," and I think that's going to be like the first time that Sabine shows real force ability.
Which is going to be, of course, that's the time.
Okay, Chris. Like fuck, I know I thought it was just in the comics. But anyway, it's fucking stupid. I don't like the fucking fact that they bring in fucking Kanan. Like, they couldn't get Kanan in it even as a Force Ghost or anything, you know what I'm saying? Because fucking Freddie Prinze Jr. was like, nope, I ain't doing it. And so they bring in some fucking kid to be his kid.
I don't know. I just think the kid looks weird in general. And yeah, I don't really give a shit about the kid. Maybe I'm a terrible person, but... J-Dog's asking if there's any chance that they turn back to the light. I'm assuming he's talking about fucking the 2 Sith, whatever you call them. Not Sith. What would you call them?
I don't know what it is, what they are. They're dark Jedi.
I think they're just they're dark Jedi, independent Jedi. But Baylan and Shin, like, I think I think Baylan's more like, I don't know if he'll turn light, but I don't think he's full evil. And I think Shin will do like a full evil. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's, at least I would love to see that. I think that'd be kind of compelling. Seeing Baylan's reason for being like a dark Jedi and how he's not like full evil, and then kind of showing her either embracing full evil or something. I think that would be a cool kind of dynamic with those 2 characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you looking up?
I'm looking at this fucking... I can't bring it up, but yeah, he's in the fucking thing. Okay. I had to see that. I'm like, dude, I've watched this shit so many fucking times. I know Rebels by heart. Why do I remember this? That's that MS brain kicking in. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is wrong? Yeah, so... And he looks just like he does on the fucking... In the TV series.
Yeah.
He does on the thing.
Just looks fucking weird, bro.
I don't know. I just hope he was. I just hope that it doesn't defer from the storyline. I think it's a good storyline. You know, I think as long as they keep him on this storyline, it's going to be okay.
I think, and I agree with like the overall storyline, like with the whole like Snoke thing, or not Snoke, but Thrawn thing, and Baylan and kind of how that's working. But I still think there's some problems with like subplot.
I wonder, like, if Thrawn, like, when he comes back, does he find out Palpatine's alive? At some point he has to, because he fucking, like, he's...
Yeah, that's a good point. I think they're probably going to do something with, like, yeah, he knows all of it, and he's, like, working for him or paving the way or whatever.
Because if Thrawn is the one that what's the space from Mandalorian is using the clone technology and all that shit to fucking make Snoke, you know what I'm saying, to get the fucking the hidden pieces to make Snoke or whatever, then Thrawn would have to know that Palpatine is still alive.
Right.
Or I don't know if he knows he's still alive, because he wasn't, I mean, they're in a totally other galaxy when the Emperor is supposed to have died. So like when he
Right.
comes back, he finds out that the Emperor's dead. But I think the Emperor has to fucking like, I think Palps has to reach out to him somehow, send somebody, fucking do something to send fucking him word that he's still alive and he needs him to set up all this shit. You know what I'm saying? To get everything set up to lead into the movie that leads into the Phantom Menace. Because by the time the Phantom Menace starts, Snoke is already there. Kylo Ren is already there. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff has already happened. So they have to lead up to that point. You know what I'm saying? By this point, Thrawn is gone because Snoke that we know of. What if Thrawn survives all this shit? Like Thrawn, does just like he been doing. Like Palpatine keeps him on the outskirts, and that's who they're bringing Thrawn out. And then they show what happens to Thrawn, he escapes or whatever, and then the First Order takes over, but Thrawn's really in the background, and that's who Rey is fighting in the Rey movie.
I don't know. That's a pretty. I don't like that for a couple reasons. It's a pretty long time for like this big bad guy to be in the shadows and be the main guy. Two,
Over 20 years,
uh,
Thrawn has been gone. Well, I don't know. It's not really been 20 years.
I also
How
think
long has it been?
that's gonna. I don't know. I think that's gonna overshadow. Like you get a big bad guy like that, it kind of overshadows the typical big bad guy that we're used to from Star Wars. We're used to the Sith being like the main bad guys. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
what
if you
if they
do that, Thrawn kind of starts to overshadow Palpatine.
What if they use the fucking cloning technology or whatever and give, like they did what's his face, and fucking give him force ability, give Thrawn force abilities?
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, already we didn't like the whole cloning thing with Snoke. Everybody thought that was dumb. Like that's just going it's getting really carried away with some bullshit.
But that sounds like something Disney
saying.
would do, though.
That's true. Disney likes their bullshit. I don't know.
I don't know. There's so many different ways that they could take it, but I have a feeling they're going to take it in a direction that's just fucking like complete left field, because they're breaking all the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like they're breaking all the rules, and I just have a feeling that it's going to go some fucking dumbass route, and I'm just going to be sitting there like, what the fuck is you? Which could be cool. Because it could be all new. It could be all new shit. It could be cool. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit back because I'm kind of excited for the Rey fucking movie. I want to see what the fuck, Rey does after all this shit is all done and all the Skywalkers is dead. And
yeah, that's where you and I are different. I really don't give
I
a shit about her.
Because, Daisy Ridley and Rey was not a bad character. It was just a remake of a fucking character that already existed. Tell her a story. Now you have an opportunity to tell her story. Really tell her story. Really tell her what she does afterwards. It's a completely open slate. It's not something new. And Disney has a problem following direction. You know what I'm saying? Following fucking, a certain platform. But they're really good at making their own shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not. When it comes to making their own shit, they're not that bad at making their own shit.
They're good at what they do, and I don't think Star Wars is necessarily what they do.
Well, I mean, it just depends on how they take it. If they keep it in a faction we're seeing with the Bad Batch. You know what I'm saying? The Bad Batch, Bad Batch is technically a Disney thing because they came out in season 7. Season 7 was a Disney production. The Bad Batch is not. The Bad Batch is good, so they know how to take. Mandalorian is good all the way up till season 3. They know how to take something and make something good, and they even really good at making the same thing over and over and over again good. Because every fucking Disney princess movie is exactly the fucking same. They've been doing it for 100 years. They're all.
It doesn't
exactly
mean they're
the same.
good, bro. They haven't really been good.
They're all good. I like all the Disney princess fucking things.
I don't know. The new ones haven't been the same. Come on,
you can't
argue. Say the remakes have been just as good because they haven't.
As we get older, it's like, dude, I've already seen this 15 fucking times. Can you make something different? But to young people, they're fucking great because that's their new shit.
That's all young people know.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, but if they take and they come out with like fucking a Rey movie, and you know what I'm saying, and they take a totally different direction and really fucking, you know, do something unique with her, I think it could be really fucking good because they got an open slate. We don't know anything past this. You know, it ended with fucking 10. She fucking took the name Skywalker and walked off with a yellow lightsaber. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's the end of it. So they can do anything they want. And if they fucking get good writing and they get good situation and they get good fucking... Daisy Ridley's a good actor. She played the fucking part good. It just was a bad part. You know what I'm saying? It was just a remake of something. And that's the only like all of us look at it as a fucking remake. Like you just remade the fucking original trilogy. To new people, they're like, this is fucking great. And that's why most of the people that like the sequel trilogy are younger people. You don't see a motherfucker that's in his 50 talking about the sequel is the best. No, they ain't saying that shit. They're like, what the fuck is this shit? It's the same fucking movies. You know what I'm saying? But the younger people, one of them used to be a fucking member of the show, loved the fuck out of the sequels. You know what I'm saying? I thought the sequels were the best.
Psycho.
So,
even though I was younger than her and I knew what's what.
But it's just depending. And it's also what people can relate to. You got to remember, like, when you're young and you watch something, like, when I was young, I related to Luke Skywalker. You know, I'm growing up, I'm trying to figure things out, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I related. You know, people that watched the prequel that was in that generation, they understood what Anakin was going through, being drawn between doing the right thing and doing the bad thing, your parents fucking yelling at you, got to go to school and all this, you know, basically the same shit, just a new character for their age. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened when, you know, a lot of people, especially a lot of females, related to Rey because she was relatable to them and the things that they were going through. So it's definitely it definitely can go either way. I'm just excited to see because I'm excited because
don't know who their parents are.
Well, you know, and there's some of them out there. How many women are in freaking foster care or, you know, parents don't give a shit about them.
The norm.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit is more normal than the people that's fucking. Well, I don't know.
That's true. That's true. I guess it is becoming increasingly normal, more normal than it was back in the 70s. I guess.
Yeah, well, because people were fucking marriage was still you know, people got married and stayed married. You know, back in them
marriage
days.
Was still a thing.
Yeah, nowadays you get married, fucking 3 months later you're getting a divorce. You know what I'm saying? It's like people just get married just to say that they're married, and then they're like, "Oh, this ain't working. Let's get a fucking divorce." Like
they get married for the taxes. That's about it.
But it's not. It's not the same. It's just the institute of marriage is not the same as it was years ago.
That's fair.
And it's way easier to get a fucking divorce now. $250, you get a divorce. True. You know, back in the day, you used to have to go through all kind of shit to get a divorce. You had to get fucking lawyers and all this other shit. Now you just go fucking pay $250, go in front of the judge. They say, "Yep, you're divorced." You can have 5 kids. Fucking child services can figure all that shit out. We ain't worried about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just way easier.
But no fault divorce. Yeah, I guess that's true.
So it's just.
But yeah, I get you.
I just think that they can go. No, I'm not, Chris. I'm not excited for because like Snow White is Hispanic, and that doesn't make no fucking sense. And the fucking
she
queen
can't be. That's literally in the name.
And then the fucked up thing about I seen the pictures on Instagram. The fucking queen is fine as shit. Like the queen is fucking fine as shit.
Yeah, how are you fairest of them all if you're competing
like that
with
don't even
her?
make no fucking sense. Like the queen is fucking hot. Like that chick is hot.
That queen ain't jealous of nobody.
Like especially Snow White, the chick that don't even look that good. Like she just looks like a normal chick. Like that doesn't make no fucking sense. But
that's a great point.
I am excited for the new Rey movie because I want to see I want to see where they could go. I'm excited for new. I'm really excited if they come out with some fucking High Republic shit because that shit's gonna be dope. I don't even know how they could fuck that up. They already wrote the fucking books. All I gotta do is follow the fucking books, and that's canon. They can't even say Disney wrote that shit. So
Bro, Disney can still fuck up those books.
they probably could, but I hope not. I hope they just
could.
fucking go off the books, make the fucking movies or make the TV series. That shit's gonna be fucking dope. Cause and the crazy thing is, I hear a lot of people on social media and shit talking shit about the books. I'm like, dude, did you did y'all listen to that shit? That shit was fucking exciting than a motherfucker. That shit was fucking great. That was a good ass book. Like, some of the Jedis on there is like fucking way powerful than what they should be. But you know what I'm saying?
I don't like that. That's another thing I don't like. Like, I don't know, like rewriting where basically like we have a new most powerful Jedi ever. Come on, man.
It's not even the most powerful Jedi ever. It's just they can do like shit that just fucking. But
like, why couldn't anybody else do
the
that?
fucking flying Jedi should. In one of the books, this dude is fucking like, he just sailing in the middle of the fucking air, and he's like fucking controlling everything with the Force. Like, come on now, shut the fuck up. But like when you're listening to the scene, and you're listening to it, it's fucking exciting as shit. Like, but then me going back to old school, what George Lucas said, I'd be like, what the fuck? Jedi can't fly. But then, like, you know, Jedi die in this shit. Like, good Jedis, like strong motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They fucking get killed and shit. And, like, a lot of shit is going on. And it's fucking... And, I want to find out whatever the fuck... I would love for them to do a live action or a cartoon or something about whatever the fuck this thing is that just sucks the Force out of motherfuckers and just fucks their asses up. And I want to know more about that. You know what I'm saying? So, I can see... And... They're fighting a bunch of fucking people that ain't even fucking Sith. They're not even Force users. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have the Force. They're just dope. True. They got gas and shit that's fucking people up and all kinds of shit. I would like to see that shit. I think it would be excellent, but we'll have to see what... That's... If I was running Disney, I would be doing the High Republic. Like, fuck, that's like the best shit Disney has put out, is the High Republic. Like, right. all the books that I've listened to so far have been fucking... I'm not going to say they're the best books or my favorite books, but they've been really, if I don't know, Tempest Runner is probably one of my favorite books.
Right, and you talked about that before, yeah.
That fucking shit is a fucking good book, man. Like, holy shit, this is a good book. But, you know, it's I don't know why they keep pushing these issues on this other shit. Like, I don't know. Like, you could add Mandor or Mando, then you could have Andor, and you could do all these little episodes and just let them be done. Like, when they're finished, they're finished. Let people die and just fucking be done with it and move on to the next fucking thing. You know, move on to the next thing. Why are we still talking about Rey? Why are we still doing these fucking leading up to the fucking Phantom Menace and doing all these in between shit? Just let the shit be where it was at. It was fine. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have to know what happened in the Empire afterwards. I didn't really need to know what happened between Return of the Jedi and the Phantom Menace. I really did. I didn't know it. It made it fun to talk about it, like what could have happened. Now y'all are telling us and filling in all these gaps, and then you're not even doing it good, and it's kind of ruining it. But like I tell you, they've already did it once because George Lucas said that there was no other galaxies. Or yeah, Force Awakens, my bad. There's no other galaxies. Now they're bringing another galaxy. The next thing that they're going to do that's going to fuck up everything is they're going to tell us where Yoda came from.
Nah, dude, I'm worried they're going to get into like alternate universes and then everything goes off the deep end at that point.
Like, they could do that, but...
That would be so bad.
Well, not unless they did something like bring in the Yuuzhan Vong or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Yuuzhan Vong, if you go back and listen to the books, because Yuuzhan Vong is some bad motherfuckers, boy.
Right.
They are bad motherfuckers. You can't use the Force against them. Like, you have to fucking fight them, and they're fucking way better warriors than fucking the people that's in the thing. It's like, it's crazy. But, so, like, that doesn't bother me too much. My thing is, do not ruin fucking what George Lucas set boundaries. It was like in the contract, and they're like, fuck your contract, motherfucker. If we want to put it in another galaxy, we'll put it in another galaxy. But I have a fucking feeling that they're going to tell us where Yoda came from. And that's really going to piss me off. Because I don't want to know where Yoda came from. I love the fact of fucking speculating. I love the fact of not knowing that. That is something that we should not ever fucking know. If George wanted us to know that, he would have told us. He didn't tell us for a reason, because then we could always speculate. We got a little bit of backstory. We got a little bit of this. We kind of know who his master was. We kind of know little bits, but we don't know where he came from. We don't know the whole fucking thing with their race. And I kind of felt this when Mandalorian came out. I kind of feel like they was gonna do this when they brought in Grogu. When they brought in Grogu, it's like, dude, they're gonna fucking tell us this. Please don't let them. But then I was like, maybe not. Then I was like, because they're not going to fucking leave the galaxy. Now they're leaving the galaxy, which was one of the boundaries. So they're going to fucking tell us. Like, you're just not supposed to do that. Some George said that was never going to be done. Nobody was allowed to leave the fucking. I mean, there was like a whole fucking. He said it in a damn interview.
You got to stay in bounds, man.
And now they're leaving the fucking galaxy. And it's just dumb. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking dumb. I don't like it. But at least this Ahsoka show was better than the last one, or the first couple ones. I like the fact that it's leading us somewhere. And I kind of like where it's leading us to, because I want to see Thrawn. I want to see Ezra again. And I'm in complete agreement with everybody online. This is Rebels 5. That's really what it is. It's Rebels live action, the 5th season. Actually, I seen something on one of the news things earlier that fucking said that they're planning on coming out with a fucking Rebels 5. It's a rumor that Rebels 5 is coming. I'm like, dude, why? They're doing Rebels 5 right now. You know exactly. So why would you come out with Rebel 5? The rumor didn't kind of make sense. I'm like, dude, that's what this is. But I guess they could have something in between this fact and, because, you know, I don't know. But guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. I got to get this up and ready for to be put on the podcasting platforms, and we will see you guys on Saturday, which I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. We haven't discussed it yet. We'll figure it out.
We can talk about who's more a compelling character, the side characters from this one, or the side characters from fucking any of the other ones.
We discussed that today. We already figured that out. Balin is way more fucking intriguing.
Yeah, no, but we could do like the most exciting side characters of Star Wars.
Han Solo. Han Solo is the most exciting. But we could
rank them, is what I'm saying.
We can rank them? Y'all want us to do that? That's not even hard. Exciting. Han Solo is number one. Han Solo is the best side character
at this point? Is he even
He is the best side character ever.
He's like a main character, bro.
No, Luke Skywalker is the main character.
I don't know. Han Solo's pretty fucking close, dude.
No, man. Fucking Luke Skywalker is the main character. Han Solo. Well, I don't know, because then you got Obi-Wan. Because in a prequel, Obi-Wan is the side character. Anakin is the main character.
But Obi-Wan's pretty fucking main character.
But they're not. Him and Han Solo.
But he kind of is.
Him and Han Solo are the fucking side characters. Luke and Anakin are the main characters.
I think he's a co-star.
Anakin is the fucking main character of the whole 6. Because the whole story is about him.
I know he's the main character, but he's still like a major character.
But Obi-Wan and Han Solo are the fucking side characters. And fuck, that's pretty hard to pick which one.
We'll figure out something to talk about.
Yeah, we will. All right, guys. Peace. May the force be with you. Stay outrageous. Have a good rest of your week.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by PicFilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.